Oh, shit. Shit. What? Where is your sound? What?
Wow, that was super awkward and terrible.
Hello, everybody. We were
Incredible.
working out our technical glitches beforehand, so it'll be smooth sailing from here on out.
Shockingly, we actually did a rehearsal on Saturday. This would have been so much worse without that. Wow.
Let's
Uh,
introduce ourselves first.
uh,
I'm Ben Zimmer, and this is
I'm Ben Bass. It's a duo Benick situation here. Ben, this is the 13th annual ORCA Awards. What exactly does that even mean?
the ORCAS. 13 years now, they've celebrated excellence in crosswording over the year. So tonight we're going to celebrate the best of 2024. We're going to have a cavalcade of presenters and awardees and some fun and games along the way. It's going to be great.
It is. We're taking over from John Lieb and Andrew Kingsley, who hosted last year. They were so professional, smooth, and funny, but we're finding another way to do it.
Don't expect any of that tonight.
No, not at all. Ben, ORCAS is an anagram of Oscar, and these are the crossword Oscars. And Oscars, in turn, are an anagram of across. So there's that. But, ORCAS are black and white, and the word orca is often found in crossword. So great name. Wasn't us who came up with it. We've got Ben Zimmer in his wicker box to protect him from his adoring public.
Always got to keep protected here in my rattan hiding place.
There is a lot to get to. We have an insanely aggressive schedule. We're trying to keep this to a tight 3 hours. We can jump into the awards unless there's anything else we want to talk about, Ben. Anything?
Well, I just want to off the top thank Rich Proulx, who's the one who organizes all of this, and we'll be hearing from him very soon. But he asked us to host this year, and we said, sure, why not? But he's the one who makes this all happen, does a ton of work, and so we're just happy to be here along for the ride and hoping we don't mess anything up.
Absolutely. Rich's judgment is usually so sound, and yet here we are. Yeah, Rich has done a yeoman-like job putting this thing together. For the record, the public has voted. There was public voting on the many terrific nominees for tonight's winners, and the voting is now closed. The envelopes are now sealed, and off we go. Is now the time, Ben?
Sure, let's do it. Let's kick it off. Go ahead.
Okay, well, speaking of Rich Proulx, he is one of our first two. Do we start with Best Supporting Actor? I can't remember. No, it's Rich Proulx and Katya Brink who are going to present tonight's first award. So Ben and I will duck out and bring in some competent people here to do something. Rich and Katya, please jump in.
All right. Well, in addition to the wicked good presenters we will hear from tonight, I just wanted to say that the ORCAs were made possible by a fantastic crew. Big thanks to Jared, Emma, Jack, T. Campbell, Will, Dave, and Amy, and everyone else who was part of the nominating conclave. I will drop a link in the chat for anyone who wants to be nominating member of the Academy of Crucible Arts and Sciences for next year's ORCAs. And if you'd like to be a voting member of the Academy who gets notified when next year's ballot drops, you can email us at the ORCA Awards at gmail.com. Winners of tonight's games will receive a recent publication, puzzle pack, or current subscription, thanks to Juliana Tringali Golden, Shannon Rapp, Peter Gordon, and Will Nediger. And to the latter two, I just want to say, thanks for not charging us a nickel, boys. Let's get on with the show. Katya?
I'm still here.
Great. The substance of the ORCA nominees this year was fantastic. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes, the competition to be nominated was the brutalest it's ever been.
I'm really excited to hear the results of your category, which before now was a complete unknown to the ORCAs.
So true. I'm here to present the award for Best MIDI Puzzle 2024. The MIDI-sized puzzle has really made its way into the crossword scene the last couple of years. Smaller than the standard 15 by 15, but larger than a mini. The MIDI might be the perfect in-between puzzle size. With the more constrained size, constructing a MIDI may require extra creativity, precision, and refinement, but also may allow some ideas to shine through that would otherwise get lost in a standard size puzzle. We had so many amazing MIDI puzzles this year. Like for me, it was way too many to even solve all of them. But our nominees feature a wide range of styles and outlets and an impressive list of constructors embracing the MIDI. The nominees for 2024 are Will, Olivia, Adam, Brooke, Andrew, Kareem, Zinna, Nate, and Stella. And the winner is, got my envelope here for Best MIDI. Gonna open it up nice and awkwardly, as they do on the Oscars. And then I've got another envelope. The MIDI packs in a lot of content into a small thing. So the MIDI award is actually a junior high school note. Sorry for all the drama. Best MIDI goes to Adam Aronson. Happy Pi Day at Puzzmo on March 14th, 2024. Rich, I think you have an award to announce as well.
Yep, I'm doing part 2 of our awards presentation, and it's my pleasure to give an ORCA, is it an or a ORCA?
It's an ORCA.
An ORCA, right, an ORCA. That we started last year. We used our supercomputer to pick one winner of the sweepers sweepstakes in order to give them a chance to win based on their length of their streak. And let's see here, speaker, and the winner is Matthew Luter of Jackson, Mississippi. Congratulations, Matt. Katya and I neglected to mention someone. Yeah, so if you enter her name into the chat now, you will win the first prize of the night. All right, thanks, Katya.
Thanks, Rich. Thanks, Katya. And congratulations, winners. Ben?
Yeah. Well, we got through a couple of awards. We're figuring out this whole, passing off the baton, and we're working it out.
Yeah,
So
there are producers and interns screaming and getting fired behind the scenes, but the show must go on. I solved Adam Aronson's MIDI on this stream recently.
Yes, I did.
No spoilers. That thing was great. I urge everyone to go check it out.
Great. Well, without further ado, I think we should move on to the next couple of awards. And those are going to be presented by the aforementioned Adam Aronson and Will Nediger. So Adam and Will, please join us.
Hello. And I guess I can say thank you to the Academy, the Crossword Academy. And to Katya, I'll be at ACPT, so if you can bring it, that would be fantastic. And hi, Will.
Hi, Aaron. I mean, Adam.
So it's time to introduce the next award.
All these puzzles have so many clues to answer.
But sometimes there is a little cherry on top.
Wow, that's such a great metaphor.
Wait, the answer is meta. The answer is meta.
That's right. Now, that wasn't a very good meta puzzle, we have to admit. But these nominees for the best contest crossword category are all great metas. So our nominees are Matt Gaffney for an astonishing 3 separate puzzles, Mike Schenk for 2 puzzles, Evan Bernholtz, Patrick Barry, and finally the trio of Pete Muller, Mac Meller, and Andrew White.
And the ORCA for best contest crossword goes to Evan Bernholtz for World Wide Web.
This was I personally love this puzzle a lot. Fantastic puzzle. Evan being Evan, this had not 1, but 2 separate meta answers in the same puzzle. So please check it out if you haven't. And now over to Adam to introduce our next category, Best Easy Crossword.
Yes. We will just go straight to the nominees for best easy crossword because it's just an easy thing to do. We got Emily, Peter, Alex, Tarun, Barbara, Brad, Kelly, Kareem, Katie, and Elliot. So many fantastic easy puzzles this year. And Will, would you like to announce who our winner is?
I have an envelope here with the winner. Let's see who it is. It's a tie. We have 2 winners for the best easy crossword this year. Our first winner is Brad Wiegman, winning for a June 19th New York Times puzzle. This one had a super clever theme. So for example, one of the theme clues was cut and paste, and that was a clue for chopstick, because cut is chop and paste is stick. Very simple, but extremely elegant theme. Great fill. Excellent puzzle all around.
And our other tie for the winner for best easy crossword goes to Elliot Carroll for another New York Times puzzle, the You Can Call Me Al puzzle, which is another just like perfectly elegant revealer for a bunch of things that are oftenly referred to as Al or AL. So a wonderful pair of puzzles. Congrats to our winners.
Congrats.
Thanks, Adam, and thanks, Will. Both ORCA nominees tonight, as a matter of fact. We'll get to that a little later. And congratulations, winners. Ben Zimmer, what do you think? Why don't we change it up a little bit? Why don't we move from nominees and winners to a fun word game from 2 of the best? What do you say?
That sounds fantastic. Yeah, we're going to liven up the proceedings here. It's not just reading off names.
Yeah.
We'll have some mini games for you. And who do we have presenting the first of those games?
Well, the first game will be presented by Californians Adam Wagner and Rafael Musa. Ben, let's get out of the way. I'm excited to check out their game and get ready to play along in the audience.
Sounds great.
Hey, Rafa.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm okay. I'm recovering from being sick, but I'm on the phase where I sound a lot worse than I feel. So that's why I sound weird, but I'm on the up and up now.
Well, I hope that this ceremony is going to lift your spirits. Congratulations on being nominated.
Oh, thank you. You as well.
I see you were nominated for a themed puzzle.
I know it's very off-brand. But here we are. Like
You had the New York Times Sunday themed puzzle yesterday. Is it fair to say you're in your theme puzzle era right now?
I mean, some might say that, and they might have some inkling of truth to that saying, I guess. I refuse all. I don't, it's fine. We can move on.
Wouldn't be Adam Rafa banter without some themeless puzzle discussion tension. Okay, let's see if this works. can people see what we're about to do? I hope so, because we're playing a special game today called Orca Up. And for those who aren't familiar, I have made a game called Order Up. The way the game works is you're going to get 7 items, and you have to put them in the right order, and you kind of have to figure out what the theme is. Rafa has not seen. Have you seen any of these? You have not seen it.
No,
I hope.
no.
I want to share these with you. Okay, good. So there are 3 of them. Rafa's going to be playing along, but I want you in the comments in chat to be playing along as well. So if anyone says like the 7 answers in the right order before Rafa is able to get it, I think Rich will hook you up with a prize. I don't know if I'm putting Rich on the spot here. I hope Rich will hook you up with a prize. So let's play along. And we've got 3 very special Orca themed puzzles for you. So Rafa, I'm gonna kick it over to you, and you kind of just talk me through your thought process here.
Oh God, I feel like I'm the one who's being put on the spot here, but let's see. Leaders lasts. Okay.
And there is the light bulb, which might, I hope, work. This
Okay, yeah, I was thinking like this might be a little light bulb situation for me. Let's see. Let's use the light bulb. Why not? Okay, see that's helpful. I like leaders. They're the leaders of the I like it. Okay, let's
There you go.
let's do so we got shorts, we got okay, so let's move LA Times all the way down because V is low, and then let's move New York Times right above that because S is pretty low in the alphabet too. And then
Okay.
Apple News is A, so that's up. And then R for USA Today. Oh, defector is VU. So let's put that at the very bottom.
Okay.
And then Universal is Steinberg. ST is below short, so let's move that below New York Times.
And do you want to talk through just for the people in the chat who might not know the
Yeah.
actual names of these people?
Yes. So defector is Kim Vu, and then LA Times is Patty Verrill. Universal is David Steinberg. These are kind of like the lead editors. There's also like always, a big whole team that I also want to shout out, and you guys are amazing and valued as well. But these are kind of like the people who have the sort of editor byline in these publications. And then the Times is Will Shorts. Wall Street Journal, I like embarrassingly kind of forgot his name, so we're gonna kind of like skip that for now. USA Today is Amanda Rafkin, so that's fine. Okay, so we're just missing Wall Street Journal, and I like know his name. I can picture him.
No, you get multiple guesses if you want to give it a shot.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, you know what? Like let's submit it like that, and then we'll kind of see we'll see what's going on.
All right, let's see.
Oh my God, it was right. I have no idea what his name is. Oh yeah, Mike Shank, of course. This
Yeah.
is so embarrassing that I forgot his name. If you're out there, Mike Shank, I have nothing against you. You're great.
Puzzle brain is a funny thing.
Yeah, it was
so-
just in the noggin, it's fine.
I can only fit 7, but there are so many amazing puzzles that I didn't get to include. And there are also, as you mentioned, so many amazing associate editors and just all kinds of people behind the scenes of these puzzles who did not get included as well. But thank you to everyone who is involved in bringing all these puzzles to life, because you're awesome and we love what you do. But with that said, we're going to move to the second one. So that was kind of the amuse-bouche. This next one is probably the most challenging of the 3, but I'm very curious to see how you do.
Oh,
So this is puzzle number 2. Let's see. Let's click into it.
oh my God. Put these in order. New York Times debuts. Okay, that's kind of fun. Ooh, okay. Eilish. I know who did that.
Before I throw you in, and I'll let you analyze the board for a second, I'll explain what's going on here.
Yeah.
Most people in the crowd, I think, know what these words mean, but I know my mom is watching, so I'm going to explain as if the lay person. New York Times debuts. This puzzle is the only puzzle of the 3 that is specific to one publication, because this is the publication I have the data for. Shout out to Jim Horn. Thank you for what you do on Expert Info. Debut means someone who put a word into the crossword or phrase for the very first time. And so these are, each one of these represents a year, and I've assorted about 5 entries that were debuted in that year. And so Rafa is about to try to put them in order based on the year.
Okay, so I know AI art is the last one because that just debuted like last week. So let's move that to the bottom. That's kind of the only thing I'm sure about. I think pickleball was in like a David Steinberg theme list that was like maybe 22 or 21. So let's move that like down. Let's move down one more. let's keep it in the 22 spot for now. And then Zoom Bomb is very like pandemic coded, right? So like let's kind of maybe, but people would have put that in the puzzle in 2020 and then that would have gotten published in 2021 probably. So let's put that in the 2021 spot. So down one more, I think. Oh no, because oh God, it's already 2025. I'm still stuck in 2024. Okay, so that's 2025. mRNA, let's move that up to 2021. So let's move mRNA below Zoom Bomb, I guess. Yeah, let's leave it like that. Venmo, AOC, no, let's move that all the way up. Let's make that the first one. And then let's switch the second and third, and let's try that and like kind of see what we have.
Switch these two.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
think that's a good first attempt. Okay. We'll take it. Okay.
So for those who aren't familiar with order up, this means that those first two and the last one are correct, and the other ones are still to be determined.
Okay, let's move the pickleball one all the way to the top and try that.
And we're just going for it.
Yeah, we're going for it. Okay, now we'll just switch the two and we're good.
Very good. Yeah, I was trying to go with the Dune hint for the 2024 one, which I think was near the end of the year.
Adam, I don't watch movies. I have no
Well, I
idea.
realized it as we were doing it. I gotta know my audience here. I was gonna put Olivia Rodrigo in here, but that's from a puzzle that you yourself made, so I felt like that was too.
Wait, did I put that in a puzzle?
Olivia Rodrigo?
Oh, Olivia Rodrigo. Oh, yeah. I thought you meant the Dune thing. Yeah. That'd have been too easy.
All right, very good. And our the third puzzle I've made for you is actually kind of a setup for what the next category is going to be. And so this one, the theme should be fairly self-explanatory, but I'll just kick it right back over to you.
Oh, fun. Tournaments. Okay, I should know this probably. So ACPT is in April, so let's move that up. Let's leave that first for now, and then okay, Bosworth is in the summer. We know that. Westport, I feel like I saw some social media buzz about that recently, so let's move that to the very top. Bryant Park, I'm not sure. Westwards is in June, so that's before. So let's put that between ACPT and Boswords. Midwest Crossword Tournament is in October. Let's leave that there. Lollapuzzoola is in the summer as well. I think before Boswords, but I'm not sure. So let's put that between Westwards and Boswords. Bryant Park Competition Finger Lakes Tournament, I don't know about. But it sounds like it would be really cold there in the winter. And I can't tell if that would be like, yes, it's really cold, let's do crosswords now, or if it's like it's cold, let's like not do crosswords and wait until the summer, Let's put it between ACPT and Westwards for now and submit that and kind of see what we have.
All right, here we go.
Okay.
All right.
We can work with this.
By the way, I see it in the chat that people are throwing the links to these. Everyone throw all the links to all of these, please, because they are all amazing. And if you're local to any of these, or even if you're not local, you should go to all of them because they are incredible.
Okay, well, I know Westwards is before Lala, so let's move Westwards up and then switch the other, and then now switch the other two. And that should be the right answer, I hope. Otherwise, I'm in trouble. Okay.
There you are. Look at you go. And there we go. You've solved all three order ups. You've put things in order.
Wow.
Thank you for playing the first ever ORCA up. And that's
Thank you for doing literally all the work and just having me show up and like, be myself. That was really easy for me.
Yeah. I love having you be yourself. It's great. It's a win-win. Well, with that, I think we're going to kick it over. As I said, that's kind of the segue. So I think next we're going to talk about, I think it's variety puzzles and then tournament puzzles, but I didn't have a good order up about variety puzzles. Sorry, variety puzzles. But we're gonna go back to the Zoom depths and let everyone take it away.
Bye, friends.
That was pretty great. Thank you, Rafa and Adam. What a great idea for a game. Really enjoyed that.
That was terrific. Yeah. Wonderful. Yeah, so a little break in the action of giving out the ORCAs, but we're gonna dive right back in for the next couple of awards. And the presenters for these next two awards will be Matt Gritzmacher and Brendan Emmett Quigley. Matt and Brendan, come on down. Please turn on your video and join us.
Hi, everybody. Let's make sure Brendan gets here before I start talking. We'll see. Or maybe I'll just start talking and he'll figure it out. Okay, he says start. Hi, everybody. I'm Matt Gritzmacher. It's a thrill to be here as part of the ORCAs. If you know me and my website, Daily Crossword Links, you know that I'm obsessed with as many crossword puzzles as I can find. I am presenting tonight on the best tournament puzzle. We have a bunch of great tournaments now. We just heard about them in the game. I really want to give a shout out before we get into it to both Westwards and the Midwest Crossword Tournament, which had their inaugural tournaments this year. It's really great to see focused effort on getting tournaments to different parts of the country and getting more people there. I know there were a lot of rookies with their first tournaments at both. For today's nominees, we've got one puzzle each from Westwards and the ACPT, one each from the Bosswords Spring and Fall Themeless Leagues, as well as their summer tournament, one from Westwards, and two from Lollapuzzoola. All these puzzles are still available from their tournament websites, including Lollapuzzoola. I checked 5 minutes ago. They're usually no longer available by now, but they still are. So maybe act fast if you're interested in 2024 Lollapuzzoola. Without further ado, the winner is Keem Vu's Upon Further Distortion from Lollapuzzoola, the puzzle 4 from that year, that tournament. Really an amazing puzzle, something that I just told you to go buy, so I won't spoil, but kind of easy to start and see something, and then a lot of work to piece it all together. It's really one of the best cluing efforts I've seen in a long time. So congrats, Keem. And I'll kick it over to Brendan.
Hey, thanks, Matt. Yeah, I had a little technical difficulties here, and the technical difficulties really had nothing to do with this like live stream. It's just like I'm incapable of like functioning as an adult. It's you know, I was fritzing in the other room, and just was a horrible experience. So, but enough about me. I'm supposed to give out the best variety crossword of 2024. You know, how would you describe a variety crossword, Matt?
My definition might disagree with others. I think it's I'm big into the grid looks different, right? Things are a different shape. Words might go in different directions than they usually do. There might not be right angles. You might still you might have things in two parts. You might have triangles involved. Words might bend. Weird stuff happens. Funhouse mirror.
Can we kind of say it's sort of like porn? You can't really describe it, but you know it when you see it.
I think that's as good as it gets. Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna give out the best, the porniest variety crossword of 2024, and let's take a moment to give a golf clap to everyone who looks like we have 4 nominees. June Pox showing up twice for 2 outside the box puzzles, both sides now from January 29, and Orb Weaver from April 8th. Alex Eaton Solners showed up with a diagramless from the New York Times. Rap Party by Nathan Curtis was part of a Patreon puzzle. And wrapping it all up is my man Alex Boisvert with a crossword nexus puzzle called Oh Dang It. You know, if I'm giving out an award just from a title perspective, I think I would almost just sort of overrule the voting public and just give it to Alex for Oh Dang It. Because I mean, listen, if there's anything that makes me want to solve a puzzle, it's seeing the title called Oh Dang It. But unfortunately, my vote is just one of many votes that came out. Actually, Ben Zimmer, how many people voted this year? Do we have a full tabulation? Is it in 3 digits? Is it 4? How many people have voted?
Rich would have those stats. I don't know. Lots of people.
Okay. Is Rich Proulx in the building? This is called drama, by the way. I know everyone's at the edge of their seat. Like,
I'm
who
here,
who
but
could have
the
possibly
secret-
won the variety crossword? Rich, how many people voted this year?
The tallies are kept secret by our trusted tallymongers, so that's not something I can share. But
All right,
lots
well
and
then why
lots.
don't you put it in the chat, and then I will have an exaggerated reaction for the audience. Just like, you know, my eyes will pop out. I'll do like a kind of like a Looney Tunes-esque moment of like, oh my God, that many people voted. So go ahead, give me the put it in the chat, my man.
It was for Galilean.
Get out. I don't believe you. I don't believe that. All right. Anyway, enough of my bullshit. The winner is who? Where is the winner? I don't see it. Like June Puck for both sides now. It's a twins puzzle. So congratulations, June. We should hang out, right? We live in the same town, and I don't see you that often. But anyway, congratulations, Matt. Good to see you. Probably see you in a month. Ben's lock and load, gentlemen. And Rich, thanks for inviting me to come along. Cheers.
Okay, thank you, Matt and Brendan. It's always an adventure with Brendan, that's for sure. You never know what you're going to get.
Rich, oh man, pause the VOD to get a glimpse behind the scenes at Rich's work product. VEQ, you know, it's Ben. I was hoping that we were going to get a quote from Jacobellis versus Ohio back in 1964 when Justice Potter Stewart said he knew obscenity when he saw it. I mean, we kicked off the show with some obscenity, Brendan dropping some more. Totally here for it.
We're working blue here.
Well, yeah. Well, I thought we were going to stick with black and white, but this is I love a BEQ takeover. All right, so moving right along, I think we're almost kind of on track time wise. Doing pretty well. There's so much to get to. We're moving quickly. And speaking of moving quickly, I think, if I'm not mistaken, Rich Proulx has got a slide or two to show us. Am I right about that, Rich?
Video, perhaps?
A video, yeah, I love that.
We'll let Rich take over for a little bit here.
What is a video but a ton of slides back to back, Ben? All right, Rich, go for it if you are ready.
We can vamp until
Well, that's it. Ben, I'll give you a suggested topic. Crosswords should allow two-letter words from now on.
You know, they
Thoughts?
used to. Oh, here we go.
All right, we'll have to think about that later. Okay, well, sure enough, my notes said the last slide was modern crossword, and so it was.
Thank
We
you
pour
for the
one out.
in memoriam video, Rich.
Yeah, good stuff. We pour one out for everybody in the in memoriam, their great contributions. I think that brings us to, well, before we get to our next game, let's throw it to two of our favorite people. Two familiar names, two beloved members of our crossword community. Specifically, those are Amanda Rafkin and Deb Amlin.
Come on down, Amanda and Deb.
Hey, hi Ben. Hi Ben's. Nice to see you guys. Amanda, I'm waiting for you.
I'm
But
here.
oh, okay. Oh, there you are. It took a little while. We're here to follow the in memoriam thing, which, you know, I miss a lot of those people. It was wonderful, but I think that it's time to bring the energy back up in the room. So let's talk about the themed crosswords. I'm a themed crosswords lover. How about you, Amanda?
I'm on board for all, truly.
Hey, well, we have 10 of them who were nominated. So I am going to be the one reading the nominees. And since we don't have a lot of time, I'm going to speed read them. So everybody get comfortable. For the best themed crosswords, Highway to Hell by Spencer Leach for Fireball. Don't Trust Me by Rafael Musa for the modern crossword. Of course, Untitled. It's a New York Times puzzle that ran during the week, which have no titles, by Teddy and Rich Katz, a father and son team, which is always fun. You're Projecting by Elise Corbin for Cruciverbology. Another New York Times crossword puzzle by Joseph Ganji. Taking on Debt by Gary Larson and Amy Enns for Universal. Last Name by Jessica Bloom Foster and Larry Snyder for Universal. What the by Ryan Judge, I love that name, for AVCX. Untitled New York Times. Oh, I'm sorry. No, that's the Los Angeles Times. Please forgive me. By Sala Winetic and Emily Bigas. And another Untitled New York Times crossword puzzle by Han Huynh. Amanda, can you please open the envelope and tell us who the winner is?
Certainly. The winner is You're Projecting by Elise Corbin.
All right. Go, Elise. And the other award that we are here for is the best clue. I love a well-written clue. I really do. And the more it fools me, the more I seem to love it. Here we have a bunch of clues that were really, really brilliant. I'm sure it was really hard to pick just one winner. The nominees are Able is He and He is Elba for Idris in Victor Barocas's New York Times puzzle on February 6th. Common Spot for a Screw for Bed in Happy Hearts, Happy Parts by Olivia Mitra Fromke for Little AVCX. Rapper on Law and Order SVU for Gavel. Love that one. In Round Figures by Will Nediger in Bewilderingly. Needle on a Thread for Troll in Jackson Matz's New York Times puzzle from March 8th. Unthreaded Bolt for Streak in Find Him by Freddie Chang for Fireball. Black and White Treat that oftentimes contains an Oreo for Crossword in It's All Fun and Games Until You Have to Pay Rent by Philip Chow for Crossshare. Makes More Gorgeous, question mark, for Erodes in Inkblot's Inferno by Ben Tolkien for Nautilus Puzzles. What Might Prompt You to Flip the Bird for Oven Timer in Jacob McDermott's puzzle for the New York Times for July 19th. The Mating Game has a question mark for Chess in Rocky Start by Taran Krishnamurti for Universal. And Golden Retriever Who Ends Up with a Chocolate Lab with a question mark for Charlie Bucket. If anybody remembers, it's Charlie and the Chocolate Factory in Spencer Leach's New York Times puzzle from November 1st. Amanda, over to you. Who won this one?
Oh my God, that's a lot of good clues.
It is. I wish I didn't have to read it so fast just so you could let it sink in.
But there can only be one winner, and that is Golden Retriever Who Ends Up with a Chocolate Lab by Spencer Leach.
Yay. Congratulations, Spencer.
Awesome.
And back to Ben and Ben.
That's it. Have fun, everyone.
Okay, thank you, Deb and Amanda. That was great. More great winners. And Ben B, looks like you and I have an award to present as well. Rich asked us to do one presentation, which I believe is for Best Sunday Size Crossword.
That is true. Best Sunday Size Crossword is up next. And is it time to go to the envelope, Benjamin?
I don't have the nominees in front of me. Do you have the nominees? So we can read those off. Oh, here we go.
Rich has that. There we go.
Okay, so how about I read them off and then you do the presentation. So for Best Sunday Size Crossword, we've got great ones from Olivia, Sid, Aaron, Will, John, Desiree and Jeff, and David from all of these great sources. You can see on the screen where they're from, and Terrific selection here. And would you like to do the honors now?
My pleasure. As a quick side note, after the show, we should make a point of making all these like links to as many of these puzzles as possible available. I
Yes, I
stream.
believe that's in the works. We'll
Yeah.
have that on Crossword Fiend in case you've missed any of these. We're running through these nominees so quickly, but we should have the nominees and winners memorialized on Crossword Fiend afterwards, according to Rich.
We should. So Ben, I have the winner of the best Sunday-sized crossword. Weirdly, this envelope is from the treasurer of Lake County, Illinois. I don't get that. Maybe they're like the Price Waterhouse Coopers of this year. But among a super strong field of nominees, the winning Sunday-sized crossword is Layered Up by Will Nediger. Congratulations, Will.
Congratulations to Will. Yeah, that was a fantastic puzzle that just appeared on his blog, but beat out a lot of other worthy contenders. Bemby, I know that you solved that one recently on your own Twitch stream and got a big kick out of it as well.
It was
so
excellent.
many layers to the layered up one. I won't spoil it in case people want to go back and solve it.
Great
Really
stuff.
good.
Well, Will Nediger's blog, like those of so many people we're mentioning tonight and other people, well worth a look. I mean, just endlessly creative. Will is a very prolific guy. Loved that puzzle. Yeah, I had fun streaming it. And hey, speaking of fun and speaking of word stuff, Ben Zimmer, I'm going to emulate Rafa Musa by sort of holding on to your cape as you heroically fly around with an excellent word game you've written. And I don't have much more to say about it other than that I loved it. But now everyone can love it. Ben, what do you got?
Well, I'm going to start sharing my screen now. Hopefully this will work. 1 second.
Ben, should we have our cameras on or off for this thing, or does it matter?
It's fine either way, I think.
Let's just leave them on so we don't.
Yeah, we'll leave it on. Yeah.
Yeah, sounds good.
So we are celebrating the best of 2024 in crosswords, but we should also recognize that 2024 was the centennial of the crossword craze. The crossword craze started in 1924, and this was something that we celebrated this anniversary last year on the website crosswordcraze.com. I worked on that with Natan Last, Parker Higgins, Allegra Cuny, Joe Cabrera, other contributors who we just wanted to celebrate, looking back 100 years to when the crossword craze started. Also, special thanks to Parker for helping me put together the game that we're about to enjoy. So the crossword craze kicked off in April 1924 when these two gentlemen here that you see, Richard Simon and Max Schuster, put out the first crossword puzzle book. And let me get back to my slides. Where am I? 1 second. There we are. Okay, so this was the book, the crossword puzzle book in 1924 that started it all. Crosswords had been around since 1913, but this is the book that made it a craze. It also started a publishing empire because this is the first book from Simon & Schuster, put them on the map, made them lots of money. And this is really the reason why we're all here today. And so the book was made up of 50 crossword puzzles that were supplied by the editors of the New York World. And, you can see right here, Prosper Burinelli, F. Gregory Hartswick, and Margaret Petherbridge, soon to be known as Margaret Farrar, were the editors of this first crossword puzzle book. And you can see what they look like in here. Here's an example. You can see lots of unchecked squares, and you can see two-letter words. You can see the clues are, perhaps a little primitive compared to what we see in 2024. But we're making a game out of this, and if you attended Lollapuzzoola, then you know the type of game that we presented. Parker and Allegra and I did a little of this for Lollapuzzoola. So we have something similar tonight that we want you all to enjoy and even perhaps win a prize. The game is called Bits and Pieces. I'll explain how it works. But if there are going to be 10 answers that you'll be seeking, don't share them in the chat. Unlike Adam's game, we don't want you sharing the answers in the chat. Keep the answers to yourselves. write down those or type down those 10 answers. And if you send them off to the ORCA Awards at gmail.com before we reveal them later, then you will be eligible to win a prize. So we hope you do that. So how does this bits and pieces game work? Well, in this game, we're going to try to bridge the gap between 1924 and 2024. We'll be taking 3 short words that appeared in that original book from 1924, and we're going to combine them to make a longer crossword entry. So the special thing that we're doing tonight is that all of these long entries will be created out of those 1924 bits and pieces, but they'll create words and phrases that debuted in the New York Times crossword in 2024. That was an element in Adam's game, those New York Times debuts. Well, we're looking at New York Times debut entries from last year. So you're going to have to figure out these longer entries based on seeing the clues for those short words that were used back in 1924. Some of those clues are a little, funky, but that's how they clued the words in 1924. And then you'll see a clue for the long entry, how it appeared when it debuted in the New York Times in 2024. So you will see kind of how both clues and answers have evolved over the past 100 years. Let's take a look at an example so you know what we're talking about, so this isn't too confusing. Okay, so we're going to get 3 bits and pieces, 3 short words adding up to a long word. So in this example, the long word is going to be 6 letters, and it's going to be composed of 3 short words. And if you're doing your math right, we're using 2-letter words. Those were legit in 1924. So 3 of those will make up a 6-letter word. Here are clues for 3 words from 1924. Nickname for father, plus point of compass, plus god of midday sun, equals, put them all together, and here's a modern day clue, fast casual dining pioneer. So hopefully you can sort of think of how that will work. If you add pa plus ne for Northeast plus ra, you get Panera. So we're going to do 10 of these. And again, keep track of them. And if you have all 10 of them right, email them to the ORCAS Award at the ORCAS Awards at gmail.com to be eligible for a prize. So hopefully that all makes sense. And we will let's see. I lost my screen there for a second. Okay, so we're going to start with the first of 10 of these. So the first one is going to be creating out of these bits and pieces a 7-letter entry, a word or phrase that's 7 letters. You might do the math and think, oh, that might be 2 2-letter words and a 3-letter word, something like that. So here's the first one. Decay plus elevated railroad plus French article equals pasta shaped like wagon wheels. Again, please don't share the answer in the chat. Keep it to yourself so that so everybody has a chance to win a prize. So this is the first one. Figure out the answers to these bits and pieces from 1924 to get the 2024 debut, a 7-letter entry that means or was clued as pasta shaped like wagon wheels. I've been doing all the talking here. Ben B, why don't you take over and do the next one?
You're doing great. I have an informal goal on my stream that the less I talk and the more my friends and guests talk, the better. No, Ben, this is a great idea for a game. I love the century ago stuff tying into the modern day stuff. Very creative. All right, but moving on, more importantly, to the next one. It's 7 letters. So also, I guess 2, 2, and 3. It's exclamation plus dark fluid plus an abbreviation for editor will yield a recent new answer snatched up in slang.
Okay, so see if you can figure that one out. Number 2. I'll give you a second there to look at that one, and then we'll move on to number 3. Then we're going up to 8 letters. This is an 8-letter entry, a word or phrase made up of these bits and pieces. The first part, the clue is suffix pertaining to, plus small insect, plus house addition equals that much is obvious. That's the modern clue for an 8-letter entry that debuted in the New York Times in 2024, made up of those bits and pieces from 1924. See if you can figure that one out, and then we'll move on to number 4. Give you a little more time, and then let's move on.
All right, sticking with an 8-letter answer, in this case, where animals are kept, plus personal pronoun, plus clamor yields an 8-letter answer for got a closer look.
Got a closer look. Figure out that 8-letter entry from putting together those 3 small words. Moving on to number 5 now. We're going up to 9 letters. They're getting longer ones now. So the first part of this is clued as tree plus filthy place plus auditory organ equals frosh. So figure out what's clued by frosh, a 9-letter entry clued as frosh made up of those 3 parts. And we will move on now to the number 6.
And again, quick props to Parker Higgins. I love the way that these like pieces like fit together beautifully. These answers.
Yes, I wouldn't have been able to do this without Parker's coding prowess. So.
Yes, good stuff. All right, our next one is 10 letters long. Regarding plus appendages plus jump yields the 10-letter answer, mom and pop store, for example.
All right, so a 10-letter entry, again, word or phrase, made up of those 3 parts, regarding plus appendages plus jump. And we'll move right along now to number 7, also 10 letters. This one is composed of these bits and pieces: slender plus Latin for and plus waiting bird equals sign of sluggishness. A question mark clue, so look for some cleverness, some punnery, some misdirection. Sign of sluggishness is the clue, the modern day clue from a 2024 debut, made up of these 3 bits and pieces. All right, we're going to move right along now to number 8.
Another quick side note, I was surprised that some of these didn't debut until 2024.
Yeah, it's always surprising. I mean, that was true in Adam's game too. It's like, really, it took that long for us to get those, but yeah, debuts sometimes take a while. All right.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's just there are so many like phrases and words that exist, but it's just a question of what somebody needed in their grid or whatever. Okay, moving on. Number 8 is 10 letters long. Social functions plus make a mistake plus consumed yields the 10-letter answer, promotion for a new credit account, maybe.
Okay, I think these are getting harder. So, do your best here with this 10-letter entry with that clue from 2024 made up of social functions plus make a mistake plus consumed to get that 10-letter entry from 2024. All right, we have a couple more left. Let's move on to number 9. Oh, 11 letters now.
What? 11 letters? Get out of here, Ben. What are you
It's
talking
true. It's true. Somehow we can make it out of these parts. Scorch plus sever plus New York Canal. That one might be a little bit of a giveaway. Equals artfully arranged meats. What 11-letter entry meaning artfully arranged meats or clued that way could possibly be made up of those 3 parts? All right. We have one more for you, number 10. So take it away, Ben B.
11 letters again, small child plus exclamation of sorrow plus collections gives the 11-letter answer, measures of one's worth.
All right, so that's the last one. Hopefully you've had enough time. Hope this didn't go too quickly for you to try to figure out these 10 answers. So if you've got those 10 answers written down or typed somewhere that you can plop it into an email, please do. Once again, that's the ORCA Awards at gmail.com. It's just about 10 o'clock. So, we'll be looking for emails that were sent by 10 o'clock because we're about to show you all the answers. We don't want you to just leave everyone stumped in case there was one that they didn't know. So please get your email together if you do want to win a prize, one of those prizes that Rich mentioned. Now that it is 10 o'clock, I'm going to go ahead and reveal the answers. So let's go ahead and see that. We've got the first one was rotelli, rot plus L plus la, rotelli. Then we had yo plus ink plus ed became yoinked. Great modern word. Ik plus ant plus L became I can tell. Zoo plus me plus din, that makes zoomed in. Fur plus sty plus ear is first year. So those are the first 5. Ben B, why don't you read out the rest of them?
Props to George Meyer of The Simpsons writing staff for reportedly coining, but the show for certainly popularizing yoinked. But anyway, let's get to the rest of these answers. Re plus tails plus hop, or ray, if you will. Retail shop. Slim plus, I forget the clue. Was this
Et for Latin for and, yeah.
Very good. Plus rail equals slime trail. Tease plus air plus 8 makes teaser rate. Char plus cut plus, oh, Erie was the canal. I had no clue. That was going to be charcuterie, is that 11-letter answer. And then finally, tot plus alas plus sets makes total assets.
So there you go. I hope you enjoyed that trip down memory lane for both 1924 and 2024. And so with that game out of the way, we can move along with our schedule. What do we have up next?
Well, a little bit of change of gears here. This award, I don't believe, was voted on. It is called the Leviathan Award, speaking of orcas. And I think Michael Blake will be doing the honors here. So Michael, please turn your camera on. And let's hear what Michael...
Yes, let's do that.
Rich, I'm not getting the audio on the video. Maybe you want to back it up. I'm not sure if the audio, is the audio being heard on the Zoom? Certainly not being heard in or on the streams. All right. Others are not getting it either.
I don't hear it either.
Okay. Rich Proulx, if you can hear, I'll text him too. Rich Proulx, if you can hear me, we need to start it over with the audio. Ben, this is live, isn't it?
It sure is. The wonders of live Twitch. Here we go.
And he appeals to solvers of all ages. His instructions are so smooth. In 1998, I did make a puzzle with 21 black squares. From the information I got, I realized that it was a record in its own right, but I didn't know that at the time I made it. The 19 black square puzzle came on as a total accident. I was just going for another one of the 21 black square puzzles, and a lucky break occurred. Once I had these 3 lines, I still don't know whether I can make a puzzle on it. I went to the top, and I had Beats a Dead Horse, Ethnocentricity, and Evening the Score. At this point, I noticed something very odd. Pope Innocent I is a legitimate crossword entry for an early pope. By removing those 2 black squares, that's a new record.
The study is great as much as probably anybody out there. Such a talented constructor. And just his seamlesses are amazing. You see these things with like extremely wide open grids with triple stacks of 15-letter entries.
And I was doing a puzzle, which I have brought today. And I thought it was the best puzzle I'd ever done.
If you solve his puzzles, you know he's a brilliant constructor, of course, but he's just the nicest guy.
It was always very gratifying to see his name, especially when I could actually finish his puzzles. He stumped me once or twice, along the way.
So I met Manny one time before today at a crossword puzzle tournament in Oakland. There were about, I don't know, you were there, maybe 50 or 100 people there. Mm-hmm. And Manny was invited down, and everybody knew Manny was coming. And so when Manny came in the room, everyone stood up and gave him a standing ovation.
He's just as warm and pleasant a person in person as he is on the newspaper page.
But when Manny retired, one of the things he started doing was the crossword puzzle. Once he had become quite an accomplished solver, he decided he really liked to make these puzzles. And then he decided, I'm going to make them. They're going to get published in the New York Times. And it was quite amazing for me to watch that whole process and the determination and the joy he had in making those puzzles.
And those big paychecks.
So I hope I am on. This is Michael Blake, waiting to see my face on the Zoom. Maybe not.
We can see you, Michael.
Oh, you do? Okay, good. I just don't see myself. All right, well, that's just as well. And I'm sorry that the audio wasn't louder on that. Some of you may have recognized that film. It was made by Patrick Creedon of wordplay fame, and it was it was a snippet that was done in 2017 when Manny Nosowski received the Merle Memorial Award at the ACPT. And I'm particularly proud that all of those individuals that you just saw were filmed. The raw video was made in my house at a party at my house in 2017 that we got people to say things about Manny, and then Manny and Debbie got on, and then Patrick Creedon turned it into a longer video. And you can write to me. I'll give you the whole video if you would like. But I'm very pleased to be giving the awarding the Leviathan Award to a true giant in the world of crossword puzzles. No one alive has published more New York Times crosswords than Manny Nosowski. And he's also, like Jeremy said in that short film, just a terrifically nice guy. He's the first cruciverbalist I ever met. I live in San Francisco and he does too. And I wrote to him years ago and said, do you stoop to dine with your fans? And he agreed to meet me for lunch. We met at the San Francisco Ferry Building. I didn't know what he looked like, but there was a man out in front of the Ferry Building holding a book of Merle Regal crosswords, and I correctly guessed who he was. And he then introduced me to all of the cruciverbalists in the San Francisco Bay Area who got together for lunches and so on. And I was just so grateful to have been introduced to the community by this wonderfully nice man. And so, you know, what's interesting is Manny's shorts number, as they have at Xword Info, it is the highest of anyone. I think he's got something like 245 puzzles in the New York Times, and only 2 of them were collaborations because he mostly worked alone. But what's interesting is he set that record, and it was nearly 15 years ago. I got to know Manny more and more over the years, and I decided that he belonged in the Wikipedia. So I have created 2 Wikipedia pages, Merle Regal and Manny Nosowski, in that order. Merle used to call me his Boswell. I don't think Manny ever called me that, but it was a great pleasure to sort of pull those things together. And what's interesting to me was I did that in 2007, and you know, what is that? Almost 18 years ago. And shortly after that, Manny had a stroke, which has kept him from producing any crosswords, and nothing's been published since 2010, and yet nobody has caught him. He's still got the largest amount of puzzles, and they're just such fun puzzles. You know, not just the hard ones, not just the open grids. I think I'm reminded of the one, just a favorite of mine, is where all the way around the top, the sides, and the bottom was the letter T, nothing but the letter T. And so the clues were always for T's, you know, taunt, oolong and Earl Grey are teas, golfers pegs, and it was just, you know, it just fun. And that's what I personally have gotten from Manny over the years. And he is a very worthy recipient of the Leviathan Award because he has made an enormous contribution to the cross world. So thank you, Manny, and congratulations. I see Manny and Debbie. Debbie, looks like you are muted.
He wanted to say thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, I remember dinners with Merle at your house. Wonderful dinners, great memories. Manny, you can sit closer and there you.
Oh, yeah.
There you are.
Looking good, Manny.
Okay, thank you very much, Michael.
Go back to Ben. Okay.
Wow, that was great.
That was fantastic. Yes, the great Manny Nasowski.
What can you say about Manny Nasowski? Legend. We actually had a bonus clue and answer combo in Ben's game, which was no plus sow plus sky. It was not related to When Pigs Fly, but it was meant to sort of roll into the Leviathan Award. We somehow
missed that one. That's okay. We needed to get to the good stuff. Get to the wonderful presentation.
We needed to keep the show moving, so I've now taken even more time to describe
to explain it. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So, okay, so now that we've moved past the Leviathan Award, we have two more giants in the world of puzzles and crosswords to introduce. Moving right along, let's bring in Rebecca Goldstein and Winaloo.
Hi, everyone. Hi, everybody. Just like the Oscars, we are hopelessly over time. So thank you for sticking with us here. Take it away, Winna.
Well, Rebecca and I are super excited to present the ORCA Award for Best Themeless Puzzle of the Year.
And what a year for themeless puzzles. While Rich pulls up the nominees, chat, tell us, what was your favorite entry in a themeless puzzle this year?
I'm in awe. The nominees are Zochin, Patrick, Stella, Kelsey and Eric, Lance and Bob, Brent, BQ, Cam, Malika, Patrick again, and Evan. And the winner is Themeless 32 by Kelsey Dixon and Eric Agard.
This puzzle ran on Kelsey's blog, which is called Crostina Aquafina. Congrats, Kelsey and Eric.
This puzzle had some incredible clues, like a comment that has us literally shaking for "it's a deal" and "old airline" hidden in "'twas an airline."
For TWA.
For TWA, thank you.
It's rare to see a 16 by 15 themeless, and even rarer to see a 16 triple stack, especially one this juicy. And we want to add to that by virtue of this puzzle having received the most votes of any puzzle, Themeless 32 is also the winner of Puzzle of the Year. So congratulations to Kelsey and Eric.
Incredible. Really wonderful puzzle. Well, now the moment everyone's been waiting for.
The final moment of the night. Rich, will you please show us our nominees for Constructor of the Year? The nominees are Daniel Bodley,
Jeff Chen,
Alex Eaton Solners,
Dina Iverson,
Matthew Stock. And in the envelope, we have our winner, Christina Iverson. Woo. This constructor, she can do it all. Themes, themelesses, Sundays, tournament puzzles, collabs, editing. What can't she do?
To quote this constructor's February 9th New York Times puzzle, "We are all one across, all smiles," to present this award to Christina.
And I think she's going to join us to say a few words.
Hi, thank you so much.
I just wanted to say how grateful I am to be part of this community. I have never been part of a community quite like the crossword community, who are so welcoming and just the nicest people that I've ever met. And so general thanks and gratefulness to the community, but also specific thanks to Jeff Chen and Ross Trudeau and Amanda Chung, who were my mentors when I started out. And to Patty Verrill, who was the first person to see something in me. And also to Andrea Carla Michaels, who was the first person to encourage me to come to ACPT and who really made me feel like I was part of something. So thank you.
Christina, congratulations. That's awesome. And oh, and Rebecca won that award last year.
Thank you.
That's right. It's like in the Oscars where you get, Julia Roberts or whoever, to present the next award. So it was great to see passing on the Constructor of the Year honors from Rebecca and Christina. Love to see it.
Ben, now that we're done handing out the awards, it feels like this is kind of like where you loosen your tie at the Oscars. As you may see, I've done a black and white costume change. I see this as sort of like we're moving to the after party where you like now you're like at the home of some huge Hollywood producer. You don't even know whose house it is. So that's where I kind of feel like we are now.
Nice.
What a great show tonight.
It was great. Yes.
Notwithstanding the work of Ben, and Rich Proulx, I think tonight's show was terrific. Thanks to all presenters. Congratulations to all nominees and all winners. Ben, further thoughts? I've got a couple, but you jump in.
I think we can wrap it up. I think it's been great. Thank you to everybody in the chat who joined in. We had like, over 100 folks who were chiming in with their comments. I'm going to have to go back and watch the video on demand because I missed all the fun commentary. So yeah, thanks for everybody who's involved tonight.
Yeah, appreciate it, everybody. Couple quick announcements, a little bit of a left turn, but the Oscars, or as we call them, the Afterthought, will be on Sunday evening. Enjoy those. The less prestigious, but also notable awards given out this week. And this Thursday night, let me selfishly mention, we're playing Only Connect on this stream. And it is going to be a good one. You may know Only Connect as a place where the New York Times found inspiration for the Connections game. Popular British game show. We've got an all-star lineup of players. It's going to be Team Paolo Pasco against Team June Pak. June, a two-time nominee tonight. And Adam Aronson, nominee and winner tonight, also will be in the mix. Anyway, that'll be here 8 Eastern. Please join us on Thursday evening. Ben, this is it.
It's been great.
I can pull the plug at any point. Or do you have like 5 or 7 minutes of stand-up you want to do now? Is that what I heard?
My tight 5. No, I think it's time to wrap things up. Thanks again to Rich for masterminding this whole thing. Yeah, great to be a part of the festivities. Congrats again to all the winners, nominees, and everybody else involved.
Yeah, it was a true pleasure. Rich, thanks for bringing us in. Did the best we could to keep up with Lieb and Kingsley, but lots of fun and great job organizing everything. All technical flaws were purely me, I assure you. So thanks for joining us again, everybody. Look forward to 2026. Have a great night.